I stared at the legal papers in my trembling hands. 72 years old, and I never thought I'd see my daughter-in-law walk through that door again. But there she stood, with a lawyer, in an expensive suit, and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Hello, Margaret," she said. "I'm here for my daughter. My daughter. The girl she abandoned when Emily was 3 months old. Let me back up. My name is Margaret Chen, and this story starts 16 years ago when my son David married Nicole. She was beautiful, charming, everything he thought he wanted. When Emily came along, I thought Nicole would settle into motherhood. Instead, she looked at that tiny baby like she was a stranger. Emily was different from the start. She wouldn't make eye contact. She screamed at certain sounds. By 6 months, Nicole stopped trying. "I can't do this," she told David one morning. "I didn't sign up for a broken child." Emily wasn't broken. She was deaf, born profoundly deaf, and Nicole saw it as a defect rather than just a difference. 3 months later, Nicole was gone. No note, no goodbye. Just divorce papers and a signed termination of parental rights. David was crushed, working 2 jobs to keep us afloat. So I stepped in. I was 62 and retired from teaching. I learned American Sign Language from YouTube videos and library books. I took Emily to every appointment, every therapy session. I spent hours each day teaching her signs, reading to her with my hands, showing her that silence didn't mean isolation. My friends thought I was crazy. "Margaret, you raised your kids already," they'd say. "You should be traveling, enjoying retirement." But when Emily's little hands signed Grandma Love, at 18 months, I knew exactly where I was supposed to be. David died when Emily was 7. Heart attack, sudden and brutal. It was just me and Emily then. In my small house in Portland, Oregon. The school district wanted to put Emily in a special program across town. "She'll get more resources," they insisted. I fought them for 6 months. I showed them her progress reports, her reading level, her math scores. Emily wasn't struggling because she was deaf. She was thriving because someone finally believed in her. We compromised. Emily stayed at the neighborhood school with an ASL interpreter and resource support. She made friends. Real friends who learned to sign, just to talk to her. By middle school, Emily was obsessed with art. She'd spend hours drawing, painting, creating entire worlds with her hands. But it was digital art that captured her heart. "I want to make videos, Grandma," she signed to me when she was 12. "For people like me." I didn't understand at first. But Emily explained, most online content wasn't accessible to deaf people. She wanted to change that. I bought her a used laptop with my savings. Emily taught herself video editing, animation, graphic design. She'd stay up past midnight working on projects, her face illuminated by the screen. At 14, she started a YouTube channel called Silent Stories. She created animated fairy tales entirely in ASL, with subtitles in multiple languages. The deaf community found her. Then educators found her. Then parents of deaf children found her. Her videos went viral. By 15, Emily had 2 million subscribers. She was getting sponsorship offers, speaking invitations. But she wanted more. "I'm building something, Grandma," she signed one evening. Her eyes had that determined look I knew so well. A platform. For deaf creators. She called it SignStream. It was like YouTube, but designed specifically for sign language content. Automatic ASL recognition, easy subtitle integration, deaf creator monetization. Emily had been coding it for a year, teaching herself programming the same way she'd taught herself everything else. When Emily was 16, a tech company in Seattle offered to buy SignStream for $3.6 million. $3.6 million. I couldn't breathe when she told me. Emily just smiled and signed. "We did it, Grandma. We did it." Not her. We. That's the kind of girl I raised. The money went into a trust. Emily was still a minor, and I was her legal guardian. We got a lawyer, set up proper accounts, protected everything. I wasn't taking chances. 2 weeks after the sale went public, my doorbell rang. Nicole. She looked different. Older, obviously, but also polished. Designer clothes, professional makeup, expensive haircut. Nothing like the exhausted young mother who'd walked out 16 years ago. Margaret, she said, and I noticed she didn't use sign language. I need to see my daughter. Your daughter? The words came out sharper than I intended. You gave up that right, 16 years ago. I was young. I was overwhelmed. I made a mistake. Her voice was practiced, rehearsed. But I'm her mother, Margaret. I have rights. You signed them away. Under duress. I was postpartum. Depressed. That document wouldn't hold up in court. She paused. And I brought a lawyer to prove it. That's when I noticed the man standing behind her. Expensive suit, briefcase, the whole package. Mrs. Chen, he said smoothly. I'm Richard Vance. I represent Nicole Harris. We're here to discuss custody arrangements for Emily. My heart stopped. You can't be serious. Miss Harris has been following Emily's success, he continued. She's incredibly proud of her daughter's achievements, but she's concerned that a woman your age may not be equipped to manage Emily's financial affairs or guide her career moving forward. I wanted to slam the door in their faces. But Emily appeared behind me, tugging my sleeve. Who is it? She signed. I turned to face her, my hands shaking as I signed back. Someone from a long time ago. I'll handle it. But Emily looked past me, and I saw her eyes widen. She knew. Somehow, she knew. Nicole pushed past me. Emily, she said out loud. Worthless words Emily couldn't hear. Then she remembered, and made some clumsy signs. Hi, baby. It's Mom. Emily's face went blank. That's what she did when she was processing something difficult. She stepped back, hands still. Nicole kept signing, badly. I've missed you so much. I'm so sorry I've been gone. But I'm back now. We can be a family again. Emily looked at me. Just looked at me. Then she signed. Grandma. I'm going to my room. She turned and walked away. Nicole's face crumpled, but it felt performative. Practiced. See? She said to her lawyer. She doesn't even know me. That's parental alienation. Margaret has kept me from my daughter. You kept yourself from your daughter. I was yelling now. You left when she was 3 months old. I was sick, Nicole insisted. Postpartum depression is a real illness, Margaret. I needed help, and instead of supporting me, this family pushed me out. That was a lie. A blatant lie. But it sounded convincing. Richard Vance handed me a document. We're filing for custody modification. Given Emily's recent financial windfall and her changing needs as she enters adulthood, the court may find it beneficial to restore Miss Harris's parental rights. This is about money, I said flatly. Emily has money now, so suddenly you want to be a mother. This is about what's best for Emily, Nicole said. And she actually sounded like she believed it. She needs guidance navigating this new world. She needs a mother. She has me. You're 72 years old, Margaret. What happens when Emily needs real legal representation? Business guidance? Someone who understands the tech industry? Nicole's voice was gentle, sympathetic. I work in marketing now. I can help her build her brand, protect her interests. Can you do that? I couldn't. I was a retired second-grade teacher who'd spent the last 16 years learning sign language and making sure Emily felt loved. I didn't know anything about tech companies or business deals. Get out of my house, I said. Richard Vance smiled. We'll see you in court, Mrs. Chen. They left. I stood in the doorway, shaking. Emily came back downstairs. Who was that? She signed. I'd always promised to be honest with her. Your biological mother. She wants custody of you. Emily's face didn't change. She just signed. Why now? Because you're successful. Because you have money. Emily nodded slowly. Then she signed. She can't have me. You're my mother. You've always been my mother. I started crying. Emily hugged me. This tall, brilliant girl I'd raised from a baby, and I knew I'd fight with everything I had. I called my lawyer the next morning. His name was Tom Patterson, and he'd helped us set up Emily's trust. He was in his 50s, smart but not flashy. Not like Richard Vance. Margaret, Tom said carefully after I explained everything. This is going to be difficult. Nicole has some legitimate legal arguments. Postpartum depression, limited support, her young age at the time. Plus, the financial aspect works against us. Works against us? The court might see Nicole as a stabilizing influence, someone who can help Emily navigate business decisions. They might worry that you're, well, too old. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. I gripped the phone. Tom. She abandoned her baby. She signed away her rights. 16 years ago. People change. Courts favor reunification when possible. He paused. I'm going to be honest with you. We might lose this. I felt like I couldn't breathe. What do I do? Document everything. Every therapy appointment, every school meeting, every achievement. We need to show that you've been the consistent, stable presence in Emily's life. We need to prove that removing her from your care would be harmful. I started that night. I pulled out 16 years of calendars, medical records, report cards, therapy notes. I had everything. Every doctor's visit, every IEP meeting, every parent-teacher conference. I documented Emily's entire life because I wanted her to know her story someday. Now those documents might save us. The court date was set for 6 weeks later. Those were the longest 6 weeks of my life. Nicole visited twice more, always with her lawyer present. She brought gifts, expensive art supplies, a new laptop, designer clothes. Emily accepted them politely and put them in a closet. Why don't you like her gifts? I signed one evening. Emily's response was simple. They're not from love. They're from guilt or greed. I don't know which is worse. My girl was wise beyond her years. The custody hearing was in downtown Portland. I wore my best dress, the navy blue one I'd bought for David's funeral. Emily wore black pants and a purple sweater, her deaf pride colors. Nicole arrived in a designer suit, her lawyer carrying a thick briefcase. They looked professional, prepared, intimidating. Tom squeezed my shoulder. Remember, the truth is on our side. The judge was a woman in her 50s named Judge Patricia Morrison. She looked stern but fair. Nicole's lawyer went first. He painted a picture of a young mother overwhelmed by postpartum depression, pushed out by an unsupportive family, who'd spent 16 years getting healthy and building a career. He emphasized Nicole's marketing experience, her ability to guide Emily's brand, her potential to help Emily navigate the business world. Emily Harris is no longer just a teenager, Richard Vance argued. She's a successful entrepreneur with significant assets and a growing public platform. She needs sophisticated guidance that, with all due respect, a 72-year-old retired teacher cannot provide. Then Nicole testified. She cried. She talked about her depression, her regret, her years of therapy. She said she'd followed Emily's success from afar, proud but respecting Margaret's space. She said she wanted to make amends, to be the mother Emily deserved. It was a masterful performance. I'm not trying to erase what Margaret has done, Nicole said, wiping her eyes. She saved my daughter when I couldn't. But Emily's world is changing rapidly, and I have skills that can help her. I work in tech marketing. I understand social media, branding, public relations. I can protect her in ways Margaret simply can't. She made herself sound reasonable, helpful, necessary. Then it was our turn. Tom presented our documentation. 16 years of medical records, therapy notes, school achievements. He showed Emily's progress, from a nonverbal toddler to a thriving, successful teenager. He emphasized my consistency, my dedication, my sacrifices. But I could see Judge Morrison's face. She was sympathetic but unconvinced. The question hung in the air. Could a 72-year-old woman really manage a teenage tech entrepreneur's life? Then Tom called Emily to testify. The court provided an ASL interpreter. Emily sat in the witness chair, her hands folded, her face calm. Emily. Tom signed through the interpreter. Do you want to live with your biological mother? Emily's hands moved clearly. No. Why not? Because she's not my mother. Margaret is my mother. Your biological mother says she was sick when you were a baby. That she regrets leaving. Don't you think people deserve second chances? Emily's face remained neutral, but her hands were firm. Second chances are for people who made one mistake. She didn't make one mistake. She made a choice every day for 16 years to stay away. If she was really sorry, really wanted to be my mother, she had 16 years to come back. She only came when I had money. Richard Vance stood. Objection. That's speculation about my client's motives. Sustained, Judge Morrison said. But she was looking at Emily with interest. Tom continued. Tell the court about your grandmother, Margaret. Emily's hands moved faster now, more animated. She learned ASL for me. Every day, for months, she practiced until her hands hurt. She fought my school district to keep me in mainstream classes. She sat through every IEP meeting, every doctor's appointment, every therapy session. When kids made fun of me for being deaf, she went to their parents and educated them. When I wanted to give up, she told me I could do anything. She paused, and I saw tears in her eyes for the first time. She didn't see me as broken. She saw me as different. And she made sure I saw myself that way too. When I told her I wanted to build SignStream, she didn't say I was too young or it was too hard. She said, "Show me how I can help." She's been my mother in every way that matters. I was crying. The whole courtroom could see me crying. Richard Vance cross-examined. Emily, don't you think you need someone with business experience to guide your career? Someone who understands the tech industry? Emily's response was sharp. I have advisors for business. I have lawyers for legal questions. I have accountants for money. What I need is someone who loves me no matter what. Someone who was there before the money. And would be there if the money disappeared tomorrow. That's my grandma. But your biological mother wants to be part of your life now. Doesn't she deserve a chance to try? Emily looked directly at Nicole for the first time. Her hands were steady. She can try. But she can't be my mother. That position is filled. Nicole was crying now too. But they looked like real tears this time. Tears of loss. Of realization. Judge Morrison called a recess. We stood in the hallway, Tom pacing nervously. She did well, he said. But I don't know if it's enough. The law favors biological parents, especially when they have legitimate reasons for their past absence. Emily tugged my sleeve. Grandma, I have something. She pulled out her phone and opened a folder. I've been saving these, she signed. Just in case. It was a series of screenshots, emails, social media posts, all from Nicole over the past 16 years. I looked through them, my heart sinking. They were all public posts about Nicole's life. Vacations, promotions, parties. Her new marriage 3 years ago. No mention of a daughter. No hint of regret or longing. But there was more. A Facebook conversation from 6 months ago, right after SignStream's sale was announced. Nicole talking to a friend. Can you believe my daughter is worth millions? I should have stuck around LOL. Another message from last month. My lawyer says I have a solid case. That old woman can't last much longer anyway. And then all that money comes to me as next of kin. Emily looked at me. I've been monitoring her social media since she contacted us. She thought her privacy settings were better than they were. I screen recorded everything. My brilliant, thorough, careful girl. We showed everything to Tom. His eyes went wide. This is admissible. She posted it publicly. When court resumed, Tom presented the evidence. The judge read each screenshot carefully. Richard Vance tried to object, to explain, to minimize. But there was no explaining away those messages. Judge Morrison looked at Nicole. Miss Harris, is this your Facebook account? Nicole was pale. Yes, but I was joking. I didn't mean. You joked about your elderly mother-in-law dying so you could inherit your daughter's money? It was taken out of context. What context makes that acceptable? The judge's voice was ice. Miss Harris, I've seen many cases in my courtroom. Parents who made mistakes and genuinely want to make amends. But this isn't that. This is opportunism. This is greed, disguised as maternal affection. She turned to Emily. Young lady, you are 16 years old enough that this court takes your wishes seriously. Do you want any relationship with your biological mother? Emily's hands were firm. No, Your Honor. She gave up that right a long time ago. Judge Morrison nodded. She looked at me. Mrs. Chen, you have done an extraordinary job raising your granddaughter. The evidence shows consistent, dedicated, loving care for 16 years. Emily is thriving, under your guardianship. She looked back at Nicole. Miss Harris, your petition for custody modification is denied. Furthermore, given the evidence of your true motivations, I am issuing a restraining order. You are not to contact Emily or Mrs. Chen, except through legal counsel, and only regarding necessary legal matters related to Emily's estate. If you attempt to circumvent this order, you will face contempt charges. The gavel came down. We won. Emily hugged me in the courthouse hallway. Nicole and her lawyer left quickly, avoiding eye contact. Tom shook my hand. Your granddaughter is remarkable. She protected you both. I looked at Emily. You've been planning this the whole time. She smiled and signed. You taught me to document everything. I learned from the best. That night, we ordered pizza and watched movies with subtitles. Emily curled up next to me on the couch like she used to when she was small. Grandma. She signed during a commercial. I want to do something with the money. Something that matters. Like what? A foundation. For deaf kids whose parents don't support them. For guardians like you who step up. We could fund ASL classes, therapy, technology, legal support. Her eyes were bright. We could help families like ours. I started crying again. Happy tears this time. Emily smiled. We did it, Grandma. We protected each other. She was right. For 16 years, I'd protected her. But in the end, she'd protected me too. That's what family does. Real family. The kind you choose and build and fight for every single day. Nicole sent one letter a month later. No lawyer this time. Just a handwritten note. I'm sorry, it said. For all of it. You gave Emily everything I couldn't. Thank you for being her mother when I wouldn't. It wasn't enough. It would never be enough. But it was honest, at least. Emily read it, and then put it in a box in her closet. Maybe someday, she signed. But not now. Now I just want to be with my real mom. She meant me. I'm 72 years old. I'm tired. My hands ache from signing. My back hurts from years of bending down to a little girl's height. But when Emily signs I love you, Grandma, every ache disappears. They asked me once if I regretted giving up my retirement for Emily, if I wished I'd traveled or relaxed or done all the things retired people are supposed to do. I looked at Emily. This brilliant, kind, successful young woman I'd raised from a confused baby. And I knew the truth. Raising her wasn't giving up my retirement. It was the greatest adventure of my life, and I wouldn't change a single moment.